Welcome back to the offensive line. For this episode, we're actually not going to address a Christian cliche. We aren't answering an apologetics question like we did in season 1 either. But we are going to talk about something really important. It's something that's important enough to take a break from our regular schedule to address. We're calling on all Christians to be on guard. The Bible says that we need to be vigilant and watchful at all times.
1 Peter 5:8 says to be sober-minded and on the alert. In Matthew 25, Jesus gives a parable about staying vigilant and ready at all times. And if there's any time that Christians really need to apply this, it's now. Every now and then you'll meet a Christian who doesn't keep up with current events. There might be a number of reasons for this, but the main one is that they don't want to worry about what's going on in the world.
And it's true. Christians need to trust in God's sovereignty. God is in control of the whole course of human history. He's aware of and even in control of the COVID situation currently going on right now. Even what's going on in Ukraine right now. If Christians don't read the news, how would they know about the latest concerning these two things? Well, more than just keeping up with current events, Christians can also be keeping up with the current mode of thinking.
If we want to be better apologists and evangelists, knowing why people think the way that they do is going to be pretty beneficial. For example, 2 articles were published earlier in January that were pretty concerning and also pretty revealing of how many people of today think. The first one is titled, "California Should Abolish Parenthood in the Name of Equity." Before the article starts, it says it's only an opinion piece.
But still, even if most people don't think this way, the fact that some do, and this internet magazine even published this article, that's all pretty concerning. Let's break down just the title alone. The writer of this article believes that parents should stop being parents to their children. That's what it means to abolish parenthood, right? And it should be done in the name of equity. Now, if you don't know what equity means, it's probably because you haven't been keeping up with current events.
Equity sounds a lot like equality, but their definitions are actually opposites. Equality means different people should be seen as equal without any major differences, such as racial equality. European Americans, African Americans, Mexican Americans, they're all equal, but equity is something different. Equity means different people should have the same outcomes. Equality is equal opportunity, equity is equal outcome.
So the writer is saying that in the name of equal outcomes, parents are to give up their God-given responsibility as parents of their own children. The Bible says parents are to train up their children. It says that children are to honor their parents. I hope you guys see how ridiculous this way of thinking is. But it's not just ridiculous, it's actually completely immoral.
And if that's not bad enough for you, we have the second article by a more reputable news organization called USA Today. It is titled, "The Complicated Research Behind Pedophilia." A mainstream national paper published this article. Do you see what's going on? One of the most depraved acts that anyone could commit is labeled as complicated. The article argues that some pedophiles are just misunderstood. They can't help themselves. It's not their fault. It's because they have some mental disorder they were born with.
The author of this article and many others are seeking to normalize clear sexual sin like pedophilia. The thinking is that pedophiles are just acting according to their nature. And the same argument used to be made about homosexuality, and we've all seen the result of that now. What is clearly called out in the Bible as sexual deviancy is now a normal and accepted part of society. For those who say that pedophilia and homosexuality are just people acting according to their nature they were born with, they are absolutely right.
People act according to the nature they were born with, and that's a sin nature. People can't help but fall into sin. It is only by the grace of God. It is only through the saving work of Jesus Christ that they can be saved out of that sin nature. These 2 articles that we just looked at indicate to us that the thinking of the world is shifting dramatically. Even 10 years ago, no one would dare say that parenthood would be done away with or pedophiles are just misunderstood.
Honestly though, none of these should take us by surprise. Paul says in Colossians 2 that we need to be wary of human wisdom. There is a destructive potential to it. And that's why Christians need to be ready. They need to be sober-minded and ever vigilant. Yes, God is in complete control over all that is going on in our world today, but Christians still need to be faithful to what the Bible says when it comes to defending the faith and even going on the offense with the faith. And knowing how people think will help us in doing that.
We hope that was an encouraging video to you. This video was a special one that doesn't really fit into season 2. But just like Jude, who says in verse 3 that he was making every effort to write to them about their common salvation, but felt the necessity to write about contending earnestly for the faith, we felt it was necessary to switch it up as well. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Share this video with your Christian friends who need to hear this message. As always, we are the offensive line, and we'll see you next time.